You can hold on to the things that affected you in a negative way, whether if it was directly or indirectly. Or you could say, you know what, that was my experience at that time, but that experience doesn't have to change my perspective going forward on how or where I decide to go in the future. Yeah, those experiences suck. Yes, what happened to you suck. The people at that time suck. Like, shit should have been better. But that already happened to you. It's already done. Not saying that you shouldn't have feelings about it, not saying that it shouldn't affect you today. Like, you're gonna have triggers, things are still gonna influence you, and it's unfortunate that it does because it was a part of you in that moment. Now it's become a part of you in memory, and it's unfortunate that it happens. But you can continue to live your life the way you don't want to live it because obviously it's uncomfortable, it's unhappy, it's not where you want it to be, or you can navigate your life to get to where you want to be, but also remember where you came from and don't let that overwhelm you, don't let that consume you because you have the option and the choice going forward on how you're going to navigate and live your life. So now that you understand what people who get around you and who aren't good for you, you know the repercussions of that because they caused you to be jaded, because they've been so shitty and the way they treat you is like shit. What are you going to do going forward? You're going to separate yourself from people who might cause you to be jaded in a sense or to shut down because they're not healthy for you. That's you learning, that's you growing, that's you understanding the experiences that you had and understand that you have control over the experiences that you decide to have going forward. You get to decide what kind of relationships you have. You get to decide if you want to be single or not. You get to decide if you want friends or not. You get to decide these things. As long as you got free will, you got control. As long as you got control, you do what you want. As long as you're not harming yourself and other people, that's up to you. But if you keep looking in the past over something that you can no longer obtain because that experience was at that time with those people, with those variables, now things have changed. And change is, it might feel uncomfortable because this is new to you, but until you get comfortable in it and learn how to navigate it, it's going to continue to feel uncomfortable. You're going to continue to look back when you had comfortability, when you had safety, when you feel like it was happy and everything was great. Create that same environment for yourself now. Become the change you want to see. Don't wait for it to happen. Go out there and get it. So you can either have the victim mentality, like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. I don't know. Everything's all bad. Or you can say, you know what? This is my life. I'm going to live my life the way I want to live my life and navigate it as such. It's the victim mentality or the hero mentality. You're either going to say, well, I can't, or I don't know how, or I don't know where to start. Or you're going to say, you know what? I don't know where to start, but I'm going to try this. Or I don't know if I can do this, but I'm going to fucking try. I don't want it to look like this, but I don't know what I want it to look like, but I'm going to try something until something sticks. Like, you gotta move forward. I understand that there were happy moments in the past. Create more happy moments in the future. But you got to also understand that time is passing you by. While you're dwelling on the past, you're creating more past experiences where you're going to dwell over because time does not wait. So right now, the present, past, and the future are all happening at the same time. So every minute that passes is technically the past, but it's also the future, it's also the present. So what are you going to do now to change your future so that way you can have a happy past? You see what I'm saying? So stop beating yourself up over the things you can't do, and you can't do them because you haven't done them yet. You don't even know your own ability until you give yourself a try. Like, oh, okay, maybe it's not where I want to be, but let's change this to get to where I want to be. There's a lot of people who couldn't until they did. Fear makes one feel like they won't experience the same happiness, fear of the unknown. I agree. Hi, how are you? I'm doing great. How about yourself? A relationship full of mistrust is the worst. I agree. You're a great man. I appreciate that. My girlfriend told me that she hates talking to me because I said I had to study. When I tell her that hurts, she says you're playing the victim and only care about yourself. So why does she feel that way out of curiosity? Why does she feel like you're playing the victim and it's your fault? Or like, why is she angry at the fact that you have to study? Something's missing in that middle area. Any advice for working on fear of success, rationality? I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. Plan for the other shoe to drop. Plan for it. So I know a lot of people say things are going too good, something bad's about to happen. Okay, realistically speaking, on a realistic field, let's say absolute worst case scenario, are you gonna die? No. Is somebody you know gonna die? No. Okay, cool. At least we know worst case scenario, like we still live and we still breathe and get air in our lungs, we still can push forward, right? Worst case scenario, they might say no, or you might not make it, or it might not work out for you. If that's the absolute worst case scenario, how do you combat worst case scenario? So if they say no, then how do we still reach this goal? Well, obviously we need to keep knocking on doors until somebody says yes. If they say, oh, I didn't get this job, okay, what do I need to do? Because obviously I still need a job. Do I dwell over feeling like I'm not good enough for this job, or do I go know for a fact that I'm good enough? It's just not for this specific job, and I go find something else that I am good enough for. Every closed door don't mean that you're never gonna get the opportunity again. It's just that opportunity isn't for you. Go find another one that is for you. Everything isn't gonna be for you, and it's okay. You're not the main character. It's okay. It doesn't mean that you failed. It doesn't mean you're just dumb. It doesn't mean you're stupid. It doesn't mean any of that. You don't give yourself enough credit, and people in general don't give themselves enough credit. You wanted this success so bad. You finally got the. You finally are on the road and on track for the success, but you don't even want it. You're scared of, okay, if I do get it, what's bad gonna happen? If something bad does happen, it's out of your control. But right now, your vision is moving forward and making everything good. If things go bad, you deal with it as it comes. You can't prepare for every single possibility, but the things you can think about on a realistic plane or level, you can say, you know what? If this happens, I just have to get back out there. If this happens, I just do this. Is it going to take time? Yes. Is it going to be hard sometimes? Yes. Is it going to be uncomfortable sometimes? Yes. But is it necessary to get to where you want to be? Absolutely. And understanding that this is only temporary, the journey that you take is only temporary, but the success that you have is permanent, because you built a strong enough foundation to say, hey, you know what, this success is gonna last forever. I busted my ass, I grinded. Was it hard? Did I have take one step forward, two steps back sometime? It happens. Doesn't mean you're stupid, doesn't mean you're dumb, doesn't mean you're not capable, doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It just means that you are trying and you don't know how to do it just yet, but you're learning along the way. And the more you learn, the less you stumble. The less you stumble, the faster you get to your destination. And it's okay. But you're learning.